Hello, good morning from Mae Sai border town in northern Thailand, right next to the Burmese border. Got in last night. Yeah, I explored the town a little bit. I did look at the border crossing area last night, but I'm gonna have a better look today and maybe take a glimpse of the river. So this was the hotel, Mekong Delta Hotel. It seems fairly old, must be at least 20 years, 30 years, judging by the Japanese elevator age and somewhat random decor. They have a bit of a shrine dedicated to the cave rescue. Must have been a big thing up here, up north. Oh, Christmas trees. Yeah. Okay, let's go get some breakfast. And the main road, the main street in Mae Sai, and it leads up to the border crossing. I'm gonna go over there later on. So there's a little arcade, maybe they'll have some breakfast. These are also fairly oldish buildings, at least 30 years old. I think a lot of the development here happened right around the 90s, maybe 2000, and then there was likely massive surge in development when Myanmar started reopening in the 2000s, 2010s. Yeah, unfortunately it all kind of stalled now. There's even some abandoned project over there. So no breakfast here, it seems. There is, however, a larger cafe, according to the map, around the cemetery. There's nothing kind of decent by the bus terminal, it seems. And a lot of the restaurants only open at 12. Oh, okay. This should be a cemetery or crematorium or something. Hall of Opium. Interesting. Not a big opium guy. Oh, here it doesn't feel as developed as Chiang Rai for sure. Everything is kind of whatever kind of stuff. Camelia Seed Oil and Other Plant Oil Product Research and Development Center. There's a whole research center and development center for Camelia Seed Oil and Other Plant Oil. Other Plant Oil sounds like opium. And because it's not as developed, it does kind of feel a little bit sketchier. Yeah, this may be not the place I will be hanging out late at night with some random people, which is definitely a thing to do in Chiang Mai or even in Chiang Rai. Nothing wrong with that, but here it's a border town. So that coffee shop, Maletcha Cafe, should be right around the corner here. After that, I'm gonna head down to head downtown to look at the border crossing again, look at the river. Gonna try and find a lookout point at the river. And then it will be kind of lunchtime. So I'm gonna get a lunch downtown. I was a bit disappointed by the dinner last night. That's the fire water tank or irrigation water tank. Everywhere you go in rural Thailand, there's a water tank sticking out in the field, and they go out of their way to make their tank, their own individual tank, as distinct, unusual as possible. I've seen some crazy designs. This one is fairly normal, but it's still quite distinct. I think there's a lot of creativity and thought that goes into kind of design, the exterior, the decor, painting and stuff. I like that. Thai are pretty creative people when it comes to water tanks. Okay, let's keep going to the Maletcha coffee shop. They have their own pond. Interesting. With the canal, the viewing platform. I wonder if it's part of the whole like cafe and eatery arrangement. Oh, I might have overshot it. Yeah. Souvenir shop, tea oil exhibition, restaurant. Yeah. Okay, restaurant, souvenir shop as well, office. So this is all part of some kind of a agricultural exhibit, horticultural exhibit thing. There's a temple over there. Maletcha. Before I sit down, I want to have a look at the whole area. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. This has to do with some agricultural co-op, I think. They have a lot of land. So they have some beautiful locations. So there's actually Camelia oil. Camelia seed oil. They also make mosquito repellent, various soaps and herbal teas, all kinds of stuff. They make it right here. So this is their kind of brand name shop. This is quite impressive. I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff from here for my friends in Chiang Mai and in Taipei. Yay! So I'm gonna have my breakfast and buy a bunch of souvenirs. Giant portion of Caesar salad, chicken, whatever disappointment I had over the dinner downtown last night is totally offset by the sight and presumably the taste of this major salad. Yay to Maletcha Cafe and Eatery, and yay to the Camelia seed oil. Yes, chicken is very good. It's very good. I don't know if it's the Camelia oil, but it's very good. The dressing is quite tasty as well. People are starting up here for lunch. Looks like a pretty popular local place. So it's gonna get pretty busy here. I shouldn't bug out. The lady at the cashier says there's a place called Joy Stairs or Steps down to the river. I'm gonna try and find that. It's not too far from the border crossing, actually. It's right next to it. So yeah, she says you can walk down to the river and kind of take a close look. I'm gonna try that. But first, I'm gonna see the souvenir shop of the Maletcha. This whole area is actually kind of a complex. They grow, they research, and they manufacture some product out of it, and they sell it here. And they also have a little restaurant. It's all very well organized. I like the place. This is their souvenir shop. Their souvenir shop. I'm gonna buy some stuff. Maybe I'll buy a little gift package. Maybe I'll buy some seed oil. There's all kinds of organic plant material. Not only camellia, but also citronella. What this? Eucalyptus. For stuff like air fresheners, mosquito detergents and stuff like that. And cosmetics, obviously. Some massage oil as well. Like this. A little towel. I'm gonna get one for my little apartment. I have some gift packages. This is a pretty good deal, I think. Yeah. Oh, this is even better deal. All kinds of stuff for 600 baht. This mosquito detergent. I guess Pat is their brand name. So this is their coconut flowers syrup. It's only 150 baht. I wonder, what is it like? I have a bunch of friendly baristas back in Taipei, so I might give it to them to experiment with some kind of cocktails, drinks. I ended up buying one of the sets and a whole bunch of individual items. Was split as gifts to some colleagues and friends back in Taipei. Total bill was just over 1,000 Thai baht. I think it's a good deal. Yeah. I was on my way to the bus station and I saw these 3 old cars just parked under the sun here. So this one here is definitely Fiat 1500. This is something called Valiant. I don't know what kind of brand actually the manufacturer was for this one. And this one doesn't even have a name. Maybe it does. So Sunbeam. But there is no company logo. Tiny little car. Oh, I did look up the Valiant. Not sure if it's the Australian production or the American one. Could be either. The Valiant was marketed under the Plymouth division generally of the Chrysler, and they were made from 1959 to 1972. And this is probably the last series, the Ultimate Series 1972, looking at the front turn indicator lights and the front grille. And they had V6 or V8 engines. Most of them had V8, I think. So this is possibly a V8, kind of like 70s, early 70s, late 90s muscle car, just rusting in northern Thailand. It's probably worth about 10,000 if it's restorable in North America. They stopped making these big ones because in 72 we all know what happened, the oil crisis. That is kind of ironic, symbolic even, that as a result of the oil crisis, Chrysler started making these little Sunbeams. So Sunbeam right next to the Valiant. 1-liter engine versus V8 monster. Yeah. I just saw Farang, an older guy. He came out from somewhere down there, up there. And I thought maybe it's a mountain hike, but looks like just a hotel or their residence. So, and he's gone kind of the same direction that I'm going to. That was the first Farang I've seen in the last 24 hours. So they're out here, just hiding. He just disappeared. Maybe he had a motorbike parked. Oh, this is Lotus Chiang Mai. And look at this mountain valley. Very interesting. This is one of the little blue buses that goes to Chiang Rai, Mae Sai. So it's coming right from the bus terminal right here, bus station. So it will be about 300 baht, 400 baht. Okay, so then this bus should take me from Mae Sai to Chiang Mai from 9:30 to 2:40 p.m. 14:40. So it's not too early and it arrives kind of not too late. I will still have some useful time in Chiang Mai and I shouldn't be super tired. 394 baht. It's sorted out. Next thing, head back downtown. This is the Mitsubishi L200 that stalled yesterday. Something with the spark plugs, I think. Kind of stalled in the middle of the road here. And that's why you buy proper German or Japanese spark plugs made out of iridium, not from Chinesium. Kitties are apparently sleeping. I have to respect that. Kitty is asleep. Kitty has woken up. Fortunately, my grab is already coming, so I can't play for too long. Kitty is distracted by the birds. She's more interested in the birds. Back on the highway. It should be 5-minute ride to the downtown area. Older buildings in this area. There's a Bangkok Bank building, probably 1970s vintage. Yeah, probably one of the older buildings around here. Most others are probably 1990s, not as old. And there's quite a few Chinese style structures like these gates here and the temple down over there that are kind of almost like Taiwan style. Main market here. So according to the lady, there was some kind of stairs that allowed to look at the river, but I'm not sure if it's here. Yeah, but the market itself is quite interesting. Border market in Mae Sai. Looks like an unofficial border crossing. So most of the riverbank is blocked off by a berm or an earth wall. Looks like there is no easy access. Maybe it's a recent thing, but yeah, I'm gonna walk to the end of the street and then take a look at the market again. This building here could be 1960s, so it has seen some history. Yeah, that one over there as well. But looks like all of the easy access points have been blocked off. Yeah, and some businesses have gone out of business. Maybe I should go to the coffee shop that has a kind of overlook. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to build something right next to the Burmese border, there's something here. This is probably the northernmost street in Thailand. You can't get any closer to the border in the north. And the buildings here look much older than the ones along the highway. So the explanation is quite simple. The areas closest to the border started developing much earlier. Yeah. Feels very peaceful. Okay, so this is the end of the street. Let's go back. The buildings, the other side of the border is basically one contiguous wall with kind of like firing ports in it. So it looks way more ominous. And that's the Skywalk and the temple, the theme park that I saw last night. So I didn't find an easy access to look at the river, and even if I found, I think it would be kind of not very interesting to look at. It's gonna be just like a ditch, kind of, surrounded by a berm on one side and this contiguous solid wall on the other side. That's the Burmese side of the street, of the river. Yeah. Interestingly, the Thai side of the border looks kind of unkempt in comparison. On the other hand, I guess Thai are not as control freaks as the Myanmar military, which are trying to control the border crossing as best as they can. Yeah. I could kind of climb over and see, but I don't want to push my luck. So that's the unofficial border crossing, I guess. God knows what happens here after midnight, after dark. Ecologically, it's a very interesting market. You can walk up that way. Yeah, let's try. But I'm here on the Thailand side of the border at the Tachileik market, walking uphill. Very similar products to almost any market you can find in Thailand, except maybe some local stones from Burma, from Myanmar. Drink. Oh, there's more on that side as well. Back on the main street. This is the downhill section of the market, which will lead me towards the border crossing point, the official one. Yeah. Interesting, interesting. Those two are the second, maybe the second and the third foreigners I've seen in the past 24 hours. The first one actually looked like local resident was hiding out here. Okay, so that's the border crossing, the back end of it. Oh, interesting, interesting. So many cars passing back and forth across the border. These guys look like Burmese, Myanmar people on a day trip to Thailand. Yeah. Coming to think, most of the buyers here, customers here, are actually these day travelers out of Myanmar. Buy up stuff here, load up their trucks, vans, take it across and resell in their hometowns. To me, as an outsider, there's virtually no difference between the local Thai people here and the Thai visitors from across the border. So they all look the same, they speak the same language, Northern Thai, pretty much. This is the customs office on the coast. Section of the market is way livelier than yesterday, which was near the close. Yeah. These people are all trying to cross the border. So I'm guessing they all have either Thai or Myanmar passports. Guangdong Hotel. Let's see. Yeah, like I thought. The street goes through the hotel building. So this is the Chinese knockoff of the Super Cup. Look, quality is awesome. Again, close to the border and having a pretty similar kind of picture. This is more developed, newer, but the river is also blocked off. So we should get a at least a glimpse of the Burmese side of the border. If not, I can do the skywalk thing, but I don't want to do it. It's kind of stupid in a way. Maybe it's a good thing to do, I don't know. Can take a look at the whole thing. So this is the northeastern portion of Mae Sai. On the eastern side of the border crossing on the main road, and close to the river and the border. There's this mysterious little nook. I wonder what's this. Let's take a look. So that music over there is playing from the Burmese side of the border, I think. You can tell the buildings here have seen some effects of the earthquakes. Nothing is strictly vertical or horizontal. Everything is angled some way. Yeah. I wouldn't be building any more than 2 floors, 2 stories here. By the way, here I'm losing the signal. There is no true mobile signal in this area. I have to admit defeat. I didn't find the place. And I have to go back because I lost the internet connectivity. Can't even look it up on the map. Yeah. And just wandering into the border wall and climbing over isn't really my cup of tea in the broad daylight, at least. Something to do maybe under the cover of darkness. But overall, it seems pleasant enough part of the town. Lots of funny old buildings. Yeah. Interesting kind of decay and development at the same time. Traditional-ish inspired dresses. For girls, I think. Little girls. That must be one of the old main hotels in the town. Quite decrepit by now. Now I'm starting to think, actually the reason for this berm isn't so much for the border crossing. This is anti-flood thing. Because now I remember this whole area used to be flooded. I think it even flooded last year. They have the wall, not necessarily because of the border. Yet another unofficial border crossing. Let's have a look. Yeah, people cross here all the time. Okay, back to the civilization. Internet connectivity is restored to 3 bars. I bought these 3 small jade and quad bracelets. The shop owner says quad. I don't know if it's quartz or something. So yeah, this one is jade, the other 2 are quad. It all cost me 300 baht altogether. For jade is a really good deal here, next to the Myanmar border. Because I used to shop for jades back in Hong Kong years ago, and the prices were like several times from these ones. I don't think here they would kind of mess with imitation jades, fake jades, because there's so much of the actual genuine one here. An even better way to look at Tachileik from the stairs of the temple here. Since I'm here anyway, I'm gonna get on the skywalk. It's 50 baht, same price for the foreigner. I give you shoe bag. So no climbing, okay. Picture is okay. You put on shoe covers like this. Okay. Yeah, one way, no running, no jumps. So let's have a look. Wow, actually it's quite impressive. I think it's worth the 50 baht ticket. So that side over there is I think actually all of it is Tachileik. Yeah, the whole thing is Tachileik. Maybe with just a little bit of Mae Sai here, over there, but most of it here is Tachileik. Scary. Wow. Okay. Skywalk. I always felt a little bit suspicious of this kind of attractions, particularly when it involves China, because all kinds of disasters tend to happen. Yeah. Let's get out of here. It's a bit scary. They say no running. I would be fool to run on these things. Actually, not sure which ones are more suspicious. The steel elements or the glass ones. Myanmar. The river below is the river Rock, and it acts as the border crossing, as the border. So the trucks over there are crossing the border. Everything on the other side is Myanmar. That must be the Shoinagon Pagoda in Tachileik. So we're looking at Tachileik. So this was the skywalk. Yeah, and that's Myanmar. This was the skywalk in Mae Sai. I'm glad I visited it. I didn't think it would be so interesting. It's kind of fun. This other more stable viewing platform. Nice. So this wraps my second day in Mae Sai, or first full day in in the town. I just had a quick dinner at this Ratnaya duck place. It was cheap, good, 70 baht. And since the battery on the GoPro is dead, I don't have a spare with me, I might just call it a day. Yeah, check out. I'm heading back to the hotel. The grab bike is coming here. This is the place where I had dinner last time. So I kind of like this area. It's quite chill. I got back to the hotel, got the extra battery, and I'm gonna step out to 7-Eleven for a hot beverage, because believe it or not, this hotel doesn't have like hot water system, hot beverage system. You will have a kettle in your room, or if not, there will be a water boiler in the hallway somewhere. I'm really surprised it's not here. Yeah, that's weird. Good thing is 7-Eleven is just across the road, and there's Lotus there, so I can even get some additional snacks maybe for the road tomorrow. I'll be traveling all the way back to Chiang Mai. Maybe there will be a short stop in Chiang Rai. Maybe, yeah, will be a longer stop, and then there will be a short stop at Mae Sai. So I'm not going to film all those stuff. That's pretty much the same as always. What did I think overall? What is my impression of Mae Sai? I didn't like it at first, to be honest, on the first day. But at the end of the second day, kind of came to terms with some of its aspects. I think I can deal with it, but probably I wouldn't be able to live here mid-term to long-term. The main reason being not just the underdeveloped nature, I can deal with that. The main reason is because it's still essentially a highway town. It's kind of stretched along the highway, and it makes everything kind of stretched out, spaced out. It's very car and motorbike dependent, so not an ideal situation for me. Personally, I prefer old school kind of more organically grown cities, concentric design, not necessarily centrally planned, something that kind of grew organically out of like central city core, with gradual advancements in transportation. So such cities tend to be more conducive to walking. Generally, they kind of allow for a multimodal mix of transportation. You can walk, you can use bicycle, you can use motorbike, you can drive. There will be more options for public transport. Like even in Chiang Mai, there's widespread use of songtiaos and tuk-tuks and all. Here, you're basically on your own. You're gonna have to drive your own motorbike or your own car, just like everybody else. There's not much public transport here. I also know that Mae Sai being less developed, there's very little usage of helmets here. Pretty much everybody, there's one guy with a helmet, and most of the grubbers use helmets, but other than that, pretty much everybody kind of rides without a helmet. 7-Eleven is fairly large, so that's good. I forget what I come here for. Yeah, I wanted a hot beverage. Very nice Lotus here. Even bigger than the ones in Chiang Mai that I go to. So being on the highway has its advantages. You have way more space. It was almost 400 baht, 394 I think. I ended up spending more than I was planning to. I thought it was just going to be kind of an emergency snack or lunch for tomorrow, breakfast or lunch for tomorrow, but I got that gift thing, and I had a beer for tonight, and it all added up to almost 400 baht in case I skip my breakfast and or lunch. So I'll have an emergency sandwich with me. Means I have to rein in my spending. So the hot drinks, I think you get these instant kind of mixes, roughly around 24, 25 baht. So you get your Americano, Espresso Italiano, you get your cappuccino hazelnut, and you get your cappuccino low sugar, and of course the green tea latte, which I'm gonna, I think, have now. Yeah, I'm gonna get this one. It goes like this. It's made by Singha, by the way, the same beer maker. So the tea mix is here. Mixes are provided. Green tea latte mix. Premix green tea latte. What could go wrong, huh? Have to stir it. You can kind of get lumpy. Yeah, okay. Somebody wants to make their instant noodles. Just like that. Okay, I think it's well done. Yo. There you go. Let's see how much it was. 29 baht. So 29 baht for this thing. So anyway, that was it. That was 7-Eleven. That was Lotus, where I overspent by a lot. But I'm gonna offset it over the next few days, and I think I'm gonna wrap my stay in Mae Sai on this one. On this note, tomorrow morning I'm gonna hop on the bus. I hope I don't miss it. Like 9:30 bus, not too early, and ride all the way to Chiang Mai, arriving just after 2 o'clock, hopefully. Yeah. I'm gonna be pretty bushed up, but it's still early enough to kind of chillax and recover.